friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do a detailed review of the new Realme X7. So Realme X7 is the latest smartphone from Realme under the X series. The X7 is priced starting 19,999. It comes with the Dimensity 800U octa-core processor, up to 8 gigs of RAM available. Then you get a triple camera setup with a 64 megapixel triple camera. Approximately 4300 mAh capacity battery, 50 watt fast charging, AMOLED display. So it's a power pack device, but how does it really work in the segment? Is it really the best value for money device out there for the 20,000 price segment? That's what we are going to talk about in this video. So if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin the video. So first, let's have a look at the design and build quality. Now if you look at the design aspect of the Realme X7, it is kind of a similar design what we saw on the Realme 7 series, the 7 and the 7 Pro. But it is not a bad design. It's kind of quite good looking design out there. The camera unit, everything blends together. Now you also get a gradient kind of pattern. We have the silver color. There is also a nebula color available. Now overall we feel design is quite good. Now the device is also kind of lightweight at around 187 grams. It may not be the lightest out there, but still, now considering that most of the devices are above 200 grams, this feels pretty compact, and even the display size is quite handy. The slimness and overall aspects looks quite good on the Realme X7. So in terms of design, it's not a striking design out there, but it's definitely an acceptable design and feels quite handy in hands, especially considering the weight distribution, the slimness and the compactness of the device. Now talking about the build quality, now Realme has used the same plastic or rather the polycarbonate finishing which we saw on the Realme 7 and the 7 Pro. Now you can see that this is quite a good build quality. Now the only issue is that it might be prone to scratches that we have to see once you use it for a longer period. But the good thing is that even if it falls down, it won't break easily because the back panel is a polycarbonate. But I would still suggest you to use the case because you never know, some scratches might get with this polycarbonate material. Now the overall build quality is quite okay, not bad, and it still feels quite good in hands. The richness and the overall finishing looks quite okay. Now next, moving on to the display. Now you get an AMOLED display here. This is one of the really good aspects. Now it's a standard display, it's a 60 Hz display refresh rate, but it's an AMOLED display. So that being said, this is a really good panel actually. The colors are pretty vibrant, colorful. The touch response feels really nice. The overall quality of the display, even in the bright sunlight, looks quite okay. Nothing bad here, and but there is no mention of any Gorilla Glass support. So we are assuming that there is no Gorilla Glass support, but the display definitely is an AMOLED panel with a 60 Hz refresh rate. So that feels quite good, and even the viewing angles and touch response also feels quite okay for the price segment. Now moving on to the software. Now this is a phone launched in 2021 and it still runs on Android 10. So that's one of the disappointing aspect, I would say, because not that Android 10 with Realme UI 1.0 is bad. It's not bad. It's actually quite refreshing UI. The Realme UI 1.0 feels quite good. But the important thing is that updates are kind of slow for this price segment. And when you launch a phone in 2021, ideally I would have liked the phone being launched at 19,999 with Android 11. Now that's one downside. But having said that, this device has a pretty good UI. It is actually Realme UI 1.0 and feels quite good. Now the software experience is definitely good. You get all the features, bundle, theme support, additional customization options like cloning apps, then you get game space, split screen app clone. So all the features are included here, and and it feels like quite a good UI overall, and we don't see any sort of issues here. So UI wise it is quite good. Now only downside being Android 10 is available out of the box. Now talking about the performance. So this is one of the devices which provides a really good experience. The Dimensity 800U is one of the really good performing chipsets out there, and it is a 5G enabled chipset, and you also get kind of liquid cooling on this. That's what Realme claims. And overall the experience with the Dimensity 800U is really good. Now in day-to-day tasks it's highly responsive, no lags whatsoever, and even in terms of gaming experience, we felt that it is able to play games with higher graphic options than a Snapdragon 750G. So the overall gaming experience definitely looks good, and you can actually play pretty good games on this device. Being a 20,000 price segment, many of the users would be actually allowing to play games, and this is definitely a good device for gaming as well. Now, other than that, the call quality definitely was good. We did not see any sort of issues here. There is dual VoLTE. Now, 5G network we are not tested, so we can't comment how the 5G bands supported are. But we are also not sure what all bands India will have. So that auction has not been started. So we are not sure about that. But this is a 5G supported device. That's the only thing we know as of now. Now, call quality again was really good. We tried with Jio and Vodafone, so again it's really good. Now this device has in-display fingerprint scanner and face unlock, so both are equally good, and both does a pretty good job overall. The speed of with which it opens the unlocking mechanism works, and also the face unlock is quite acceptable, so we do not see any sort of issues here as well. Now the speaker performance is kind of okayish. Bottom firing speakers, it's definitely loud enough, and the quality also looks quite okay to me. Now next, let's move on to the cameras. So we have a 64 megapixel camera here. This is one of the highlights. Realme has not mentioned which sensor has been used here. We are assuming this is Samsung sensor because it's not an IMX, Sony's IMX sensor. So it's a 64 megapixel camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, or rather macro sensor, no depth sensor included. Now the camera quality is something which we didn't like that much. For a 20,000 price segment, we feel it should have been much better. The camera quality is kind of average. Details aren't that great. The 64 megapixel doesn't bring in a lot of details. It's still kind of okay for most users, but if you are a person who wants the best camera at 20,000 price segment, probably then you might be in for some disappointment, because this is not the device with the best camera out there. Although the cameras are kind of okay, we have also done a detailed camera review, so you can also check out that video to get an idea about how the performance has been. So there is also a 16 megapixel selfie camera, and even the video recording was kind of average, I would say, not the best out there in this price segment. So that's the camera aspect. We feel Realme has to improve in the camera front. Now this device has a 4310 mAh capacity battery, and the battery performance is definitely good. In normal usage, we got around 5 to 6 hours of battery life. Again, that depends upon person to person, because the apps I run might not be the apps you run. So again, that is different. So in our usage, we got around 5 to 6 hours of battery life, which is kind of okay. And it has a 50-watt fast charging that can charge the device in around 55 minutes, which is again good. So you can quickly charge the device. So in that aspect also, it is kind of okay. So that is the detailed aspect about the Realme X7. So is it really a worthy device for 20,000? Now Realme X7 pros include, you get an AMOLED display, it's a slim form factor, compact device, good software experience, good performance, good battery life, and you also get 5G support along with 50-watt fast charging. Now the downsides of the device is one of the most important downside is that the camera is not that great. Camera should have been better, because in 2020 at 20,000 price segment, most of the users will definitely be looking at better cameras. That's one area where this device isn't that great, and the build quality is kind of questionable. Again, that is a personal choice. Frankly, I would like a glass finishing, but many users still like a plastic or polycarbonate. That's more of a personal choice, so that I wouldn't put it as a con. But still, build quality could have been slightly better overall. But those are the pros and cons. So again, there is no SD card support on this device. So that's again another issue. May not be a con as such, but that you have to consider when you buy the device. So summing up, is it really the best value for money device out there in 20,000 price segment? We would say definitely not. It is a good all-round package, but there are some shortcomings, like the camera needs to be improved. So we feel it's definitely a good device out there in this price segment, but not the best value for money out there, because the Realme 7 Pro has better imaging capabilities, although that does not have 5G. But again, 5G is kind of not yet arrived in India. So if investing on a 5G device is up to you. If you want to go future proof for like next 2-3 years, then probably makes much better sense in investing on a 5G device. But without 5G, we feel the cameras should have been improved. Also, there is a Moto G 5G and and the Xiaomi Mi 10i at this price segment, which also have 5G. So this is definitely not the best overall value for money package out there, but I would say this is definitely a good package at 19,999 if you're not really bothered about the cameras. You want more performance and good AMOLED display at this price segment. So that was a detailed review of the Realme X7. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.